up, y'all? You are listening to For the Artists. Okay, I am still sitting on the couch. I wish I could claim this couch as my own, but it is not. Okay, this is Clarissa Amber, aka Sweet Tea. This is her couch, and I love this couch. Okay, I just love it. So, we were just talking about previously. You know, you started dipping into like mind versus heart. Ooh, I like that. I want to dig into that a little bit more because there is a very fine separation. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like, yeah, there's definitely a separation between those two. And it's like, where do you want to flow out of? And it's like, how do you get your mind right? Because I'm sure that there was a point in your journey, you know, where your mind wasn't right. Like, you know, we have to kind of get to that place before we sometimes recognize or understand like what is going on upstairs in our mind. Sometimes it's just like autopilot. Our mind just goes from the time we're born and we're unaware. Yeah. So do you remember like at the time in your life when you started to recognize like the things that were happening mentally with you? I don't know if that sounds right.
Do I remember a time when life is very, we were talking about cycles, you know, and so I had a cycle when I was a teenager, you know, and it's like, there are cycles, like crazy, you know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how to really articulate that, but if we're talking about like right now, I'll be honest with you, I struggled during the pandemic mentally. That was a time, like a very dark time for me.
Yeah.
And I was disconnected from my community. I have a spiritual walk, but again, in isolation, that was difficult. And I did have trouble with my thoughts in my mind. And I mean, you said my house is great, girl. All I did was decorate. I had project after project to try to keep me sane.
Yeah.
But I think what I learned during the pandemic is like mental health is like you can exercise your mind. And so I started meditation, which is a serious mental exercise to sit there and quiet your thoughts intentionally. That's not easy. And I had never done it because, you know, black people don't. I mean, I don't want to generalize, but generally, we ain't really into therapy. We weren't taught the therapy.
Your general experience, okay?
My experience.
Being in the neighborhood.
Nobody was getting a therapist. And yeah, during the pandemic, I started meditating, which is this exercise of quieting your mind, you know? I do visualization, you know? There's like a YouTube that I follow. They do guided meditations and affirmations that you sleep to. I mean, I do the things to get it back and make it strong again. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've been through those seasons where I have to use tools, mindfulness tools, to get quiet enough so that you can hear your heart. Because life happens. Yeah. Life be life.
Yeah, that's what right.
And you're like, it's giving crazy. So but there are tools, you know, and like I have a huge spiritual foundation, but I think that even Christians need to go see therapists. I think even Christians need to meditate. You know what I mean, and have more mind control. That's why I love it.
And not the other mind control.
Right.
That be happening.
Yeah.
You need someone else controlling your mind.
Yeah. So yeah, mental exercise. You know.
Okay, but prior to the pandemic, you weren't really like tapped in on any of that.
No.
So that difficult time actually brought that out.
Absolutely. I had never. I had a therapist for like an emergency, like while I was married, obviously. You know, you go to marriage counseling. Outside of that, I had never been to therapy. Never.
Okay.
Yeah, but I found it helpful.
I feel like now that it's very mainstream. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I hate to use the phrase trendy, but
it is trending.
It's trending.
Yeah.
It's been trendy. The only thing that makes me cautious about that is, I mean, we know what happens with trends. They fall, you know, it runs its course and then it falls off.
That's
but
true.
This is something that should not run its course and should not fall off. I mean,
no.
this is something that we have found needs to be focused on and is a pillar. You know, it's one of those pillars where you need to be paying attention because that is partly the strength of who you are.
Absolutely.
So, I don't even know where I'm going with this, but
we're going to tell people to get mental health. Mental health is important. And I think it's, for the artists, I think it is difficult to be creative if you're struggling mentally. That's not easy.
Well, okay, I'll say.
But
I'm gonna say this. I will say that I think it is difficult as an artist to have an output, like have a healthy output for other people. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like sometimes when people are mentally struggling, they will just get it out in expressive ways.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
True.
And it's almost like.
But when has that resulted in good music?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Like the output is like,
Ooh,
like look at what you're putting out.
You're in pain,
but
and you're spreading it around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, it's always perspective because then somebody could be like, well, at the same time, that also is kind of their therapy, and they got it out. Yes. But I mean, unless it's intentional, you could just be like throwing up on people.
Yeah.
And you're not actually like healing or getting better. Like, you know what I mean?
You're not healing. People aren't healing.
And you just keep putting that same stuff out there.
Yeah.
So it is important.
It's important to get mentally stable, you know, before you are giving your gift to the world. That's my opinion.
I would agree.
That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know, we do talk about opinions and straight facts. Oh my gosh. All right. So, wow. All right. So, you're still doing those same things. You have your little toolkit.
I do.
And you know what to do. You know what to you can recognize when, like, ooh, something's going astray. Can you?
I can't. I mean, here's the thing. I think that, and again, I'm trying to help those who don't have the Holy Spirit. Like, I usually get a heads up. I have spiritual guidance, either from the people in my life who are like, girl, you messy, or I have guides that show me when I'm struggling. You know.
Do you still journal?
I have a voice memo journal.
Oh, okay.
I can't write like I used to, but I did. I used to really be into journaling a lot. I think it is a great marker for your life. I'll pick up old journals and be like, girl, ooh, was that what was going on?
And I still have them all.
Do you?
And I still journal a lot.
That is amazing. You should put them all together and have a book about your life.
They're all together. I didn't think about the book about my life, but
they're all there. It's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. No, I do voice memo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so with the voice memo, do you go back and listen to it or what? Or you just get it out?
I get it out. I'll go back and reference it. If something feels similar to me, I'll go back and reference it. But voice, I just love the technology of being able to just record in the moment, whatever's going on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Whether it's a dream or a vision or a melody. I have a lot of melodies that I've just hummed into my voice memo, and then I'll go back to them and be like, that's a banger. You know what I mean? So you always want to just capture what you hear. I think the technology is great that we could do. Mm-hmm. You know, we could do that now.
In your friend circle, would you say that I probably already know the answer, but would you say that you gravitate towards people that are vibrating on the same mental plane as you? Or would you say that in your circle, people are in all different places mentally, and you guys just kind of support each other, vibe with each other, or like, what is that like? You know what I mean? Or do you even recognize that in terms of like the mental, like what's going on mentally with the people that are around you or in your circle?
That's a good question. I feel like my circle looks like the Target logo. Okay, so you know you have an inner circle,
the little red dot.
And you have this outside circle, and then you got a bigger circle.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I can't. When you started talking about it, I saw the Target logo because I'm like, that's what it is. My inner circle is, I mean, I don't. That's my spiritual circle. You know, these are people who I've been connected with by the Spirit. God put those people in my life, and we pour in and out to each other. Do you know what I'm saying? And like, I've known some of them so long, I don't have to speak. They already know if I'm calling. You know what I mean? That's that inner circle. That's the tight knit group that is there for you when at the back surgery and the birth of your kid. You know what I mean? Like you just, those people are there. And then I have a larger circle. I mean, I'm not just an artist. I'm a producer, a commercial producer for a living. And so I have people who I've worked with very closely that have become friends. But I can't say that like I spend time at their house and babysit their kids. We're not that close, but I have a koinonia with them, and we are close enough to have shared some things. And then I have a larger circle of acquaintances, people I respect and admire who are in my network. You know, so it's that, and that inner circle, these are very high vibrational people. These are people who are like-minded. These are people who love God. I mean, that inner circle, that's just what it becomes, you know. That's that spiritual circle. But beyond that, I love people. I really do, and I like different kinds of people. I'm always interested to know people's stories, and whenever I start like interacting with someone who I think is interesting, they're always fascinated that I care. What? You know what I mean? It's so weird that you know what I mean? So I think I collect up people. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they fall in different places, and they do have different mental things going on. But I think that I love similarly to everyone. Like I love people similarly. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes that's all people need.